Hello? Hmm? Hey, Mitch, are you there?
Oh,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yep. Mm.
Sorry, dude. I just completely lost track of time. That's my bad.
No, you're fine. Like you said, you're helping out family, and that takes priority first.
Yeah. How
How
you
things
been?
been?
I've been pretty good. Just trying to get this grind going.
I hear ya. Everyone's trying to be on that grind, especially during the summertime when they have more free time to do so.
Yeah, facts. I've been doing a lot of I've been trying to stay on my tech. Doing at least for 2 or 3 hours every day with the training mod pack, and I think that's been helping a lot.
Oh, cool. I'm glad to actually hear that.
Mm.
Let's see. How has just kind of curious, how has the things that like we talked about last time, how have they been for you? Feel any difference from it or
I think the big thing that I took away was the stage positioning stuff. Like if they're on one side of the stage, I'm still consciously thinking about holding middle
hmm
instead of losing my position and then now I'm on the like edge of the stage.
hmm
So I've been using if they're on the top platform, and I remember you telling me about when I did an up air, when I throw an up air when they're on the platform, I would position myself on their outside instead of keeping myself on the inside. So I've been doing that with up airs and then back air pressure. And then if they're on the ledge of the stage, I space out my back airs so I don't lose my positioning also. But
okay.
then co- now I'm finding my position where if I throw it in a back air, they end up rolling to the inside. Like if they're on the ledge, they roll from the ledge to the inside. And I just gotta learn to react to that, and then I don't know, maybe grab them, or I don't know, maybe stay a little bit patient. Those scenarios get a little tricky for me, but
Okay.
I'm learning a
Yeah,
lot. I think the
mm,
positioning stuff's been helping a lot though, for sure.
okay, cool. That makes sense. Why you kind of bring that up then, because like kind of like the idea of like when they're rolling, it's kind of in a sense like sounding like a tempo thing, like knowing when they kind of actually would roll.
Right.
So that can definitely be something that we can talk about since that's one of the things that you wanted to focus on.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
all right. Well, yeah, I think you asked if I was how I've been doing. I've been doing okay. Just kind of the same old with coaching, working, um, getting things together for well, it's the end of the season, so getting things together for PRs, for here in Indiana, and trying to actually get a monthly going. We just announced that today for South Bend.
You're gonna have a monthly in South Bend?
Yep, it's going to be in July, July 30th, the last Saturday of the month.
Oh, okay. I'm probably gonna check that out then.
Okay, I'll go ahead and link that at the end of the discussion here. What I'm going to do here real quick is I'll share my screen so we can both view the set because I was able to get it on YouTube for us to view.
Oh, awesome.
So just let me know when you're able to, if you're able to see things on here.
Yeah, I got a full screen on it.
Okay, and just going to start it a little bit, just let it run for a couple seconds. Just let me know if it's a little choppy.
No, it's pretty clean.
Okay, so I'll restart this. There we go. Okay, so yeah, before we jump into it, I just want to double check that. Basically, you wanted to look kind of like with neutral positioning and tempo. Like with
Mhm.
neutral, is there something specific with it, or?
I think for neutron positioning, they're when I was talking about it, I think I wanted more both tied in with each other. So like when I'm in neutral, like I want us to like get like a gauge on like where's my positioning, um, and then how I'm reacting to whatever options they're doing. Like so I'm like setting myself up for an opening
Better
or
situation.
potential yeah.
Positioning in neutral. Let's see. So yeah, positioning in neutral for better situate better situations in the future, basically. Okay. And then we kind of talked a little bit about it with tempo, but like for tempo, is it like timing of what exactly is it that you mean with tempo?
Yeah, like timing with like certain moves that I throw out or um like there's an instance where I was like when I was playing Dark Wizzy where I was on like the right side of the stage and he like anticipated me to like charge at him at the middle and I think he ended up throwing like a up smash, but I kind of like just stopped and waited. Um so I'm thinking what other times could I also change up the tempo where we're like in neutral or on ledge, you know? Because I think other than that time, like most of the time, I was kind of just um, like rolling in or like throwing something at him, or just like running in at him instead of just like maybe slowing it down or picking up the pace.
Okay. So when is the timing of or when is their it's like so when is their timing? It's kind of hard to word it, but I know what you mean exactly. Like when is their mm, what is so what is the timing? No, what is other times where
Yeah,
yeah, where you can mix up
yeah,
your timing. I think it's just because the fact that I was thinking the word time and timing was in there. So yeah, so what is other times where you can mix up your timing? Just like with the example you said, like you dash, then stop, and Dark Wizzy up smashed, trying to punish the dash. Okay. Well then, yeah, that'll be our two big focuses. Is just like looking at
yeah. That's pretty
neutral
good.
and just like looking at tempo, like maybe some instances where like you could incorporate tempo in other areas. So we'll just watch kind
Mm-hmm.
of like the first game and just kind of like see how things go. And then like if there's some specific things you have in mind for it that you're seeing, we can go ahead and just talk through them. Give me
Okay.
just a moment to grab one quick thing. Let me see here. I need to check also just seeing how my volume is on here. Okay, it looks pretty good. Alright, so let's head into the first game. And like that. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, here comes the Mario vortex, and then starting with the
Yeah,
vortex right after.
it was definitely like a big scrap fest right here. Like we're just like kind of going at each other and just boxing it out.
Mhm.
It isn't the
Okay, yeah, air
instrument that's
dot.
being
Okay,
played that makes the difference, but the man who plays it.
good.
Yeah, yeah, right there was like a big mistake. I feel like I should just dashed away and not gone for that second up tilt because then it costing me a stock.
What makes you say that, for example, with like besides like stock being lost from it, like what?
What do you mean, like what else I should have done, or?
No, no, like what makes you feel like for you, like you feel like you shouldn't have gone for the second one?
Because like he dropped shield, so I went for that second up to because I thought he was gonna not shield again, but like after like seeing like his like defensive option again, like I'm just not like he has a pretty fast up smash, Mario, and my up tilt is like -17 or -18 on shield. So maybe if I would have like dashed away, dashed back, and like held onto that pressure instead of throwing something out, I could at least been in his head about, I'm still here. I don't have to throw out a move for me to still apply the pressure. And I think that's where I got like a little antsy throwing up that second up tilt.
Okay, when you could have maybe still decided to just back off, but still being like him be in that corner position basically.
Yeah.
I understand that. Let's keep going for the rest of the match here.
Okay.
Let's see.
Also notice that like when he's in the air, he's very good at like spacing out, almost like baiting. Like he would kind of like DI into me and then DI out, like kind of like waiting for me to throw out a hitbox, and then he would kind of like capitalize on it, which I thought was pretty neat.
Oh yeah, using his own movement itself to kind of like bait out an option for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you win this first game?
I won the second game.
Second game? Oh, okay. So let's see. There we go. Yeah, I see what you're saying before about like the low stage positioning on the platforms there. Like that seems a lot better compared to like what we seen when we did a session last time.
Yeah.
All right, edge guard situation. So
He also loved to do neutral get up.
ooh, Fox McCloud up smash. That's a classic. Ooh, no jump. Oh, but
Did he not have a jump there?
Nope, he did not. It was when you up smashed him there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I didn't see it at the time. I saw the circle.
That's all good. Even then, you still did. I felt like the right things. It's just got caught off guard with him doing dare. And then yeah,
that was like a nervous air dodge.
Okay, no problem. So I have one thing that I can bring up actually about tempo that I'll go back into start up a little topic about it. So for tempo, for you, I have a question about it is what do you do to try and find someone's tempo?
I try to be like pretty patient, especially like in like a neutral situation, like one thing I like doing is doing like a full hop fair and kind of seeing how they react to it. So if they either like dash away, like if they dash away, like I can kind of see like what their plan is in neutral, maybe they're waiting for me to throw out a hitbox first. But
Okay.
if they like if I do the same thing, like if I do like a full hop fair and I see them dashing in regardless, I can kind of gauge that they are a little bit more of an aggressive player in neutral. And I think the same thing goes with combos. Like if I'm getting comboed and they're just like full sending it, I can kind of understand that their speed of the game in that scenario is like it's like holding forward. But yeah, that's kind of how I gauge like their tempo.
Oh, okay. So yeah, kind of trying to play around and mess with, see like just what kind of a play style that they kind of have there off of it. So full hop fair.
Full hop fair, full hop down air, something that'll like potentially catch their jump. Like if they like I throw it out, like Light does it a lot, which I kind of now understand why, but he does it to see if they will jump in neutral to find an opening. But it's like a counter attack, you know. It's a counter attack that can be used as a offensive option, and then potentially a combo starter. But it's also like a very safe move because if you can like correctly time the jump and the fair, you can land with a nair coming down if they're like underneath and holding shield. So yeah, it's kind of that's just like the way I usually start my matches, to find their tempo, find the speed of the game.
Okay. Yeah, because I was actually going to ask about that like at the very start of the set, like just from like the word go, it's like the moment that you got off that platform. Well, like when I was just getting it together, I was going to ask you later about it, but like it was just instant off the plat into the air. And I'm like,
Yeah.
It was about to say, you must know something I don't, so I need to ask about that. But I guess you cleared it up for me. Because I know if it was maybe you just saw matches against Dark Wizzy and decided that that's just something he does at the start of matches.
Right. Oh, I gotcha.
Okay. So yeah, that makes more sense for me, like why at the start of your matches you like to actually try and do that. So with that idea in mind, with like tempo, full hop fair, dare is a way of doing it to see your fade.
I also like if I'm like grounded, like if I'm grounded and if I'm doing like a little dash dance here and there, I can also kind of see like what are they trying to look for, you know, like are they also dash dancing, are they also are they trying to like bait me into something, you know. I can kind of grab some like information on what they're trying to look for in my playstyle.
Okay. That's an interesting way of looking at tempo that I wasn't actually going to bring up, but it brings up an idea for another way to look at it. With both the full hop fair and dare as a way of trying to see, is a way of seeing. So basically, like if they take opportunities and immediately react after the jump, or wait on the ground.
Yeah.
And like when you're dashing, to see if they try to dash at you when they see you dash towards them. Because yeah, that's a good point way of like looking at tempo. Because what I think of tempo is that you are when the way that you're kind of describing tempo, and I hate to like just say like just describe it as like how most people think of it, but a big popular thing that people like when IQ came out. Do you know that anime? Or actually you don't really watch too much anime, right? Okay, yeah, that's why I have remembered. So it's a sports anime that's about volleyball basically, and the big thing that came out about that anime was tempo, because there was a whole episode dedicated to like, you know, the different timings and tempos for players. So what you're kind of describing is what's called it could be either tempo 0 or tempo 1, but it's like where you do something, well, actually it's more tempo 1. Like tempo 1 is like when you do something, the opponent immediately does an action afterwards because they're trying to punish you immediately after. So that's usually the tempo that you like working with, is seeing like if you do this, are they immediately doing stuff.
Okay.
But the way that you can help yourself figure out someone's tempo, because I think what you're doing to try and find tempo, it's not bad of trying to like do these full hop fairs and dares to try and see if they are going to immediately act. I think just having those be like your game plans for I I guess like having it be like your game plan at the start, or like to continuously use to find out someone's tempo, is a little risky, because like even if they aren't anywhere close to you, if they're not taking the bait of trying to jump up and fall for the nair and decide to just wait on the ground, then you're just putting yourself into a juggle phase from it.
Right.
At least from that one. It's not to say that it won't happen all the time, but it's just a little fear that I just have about that. The dashing
I see what
in,
you're saying.
yeah, like the dashing in to see if they'll try to dash at you. That one I like a lot more for tempo, because what it does is that you're both being more grounded, and you can decide to dash back as long as like you start to dash at a certain timing away from them.
Okay.
But what tempo for me deals with, it's like it deals with doing a certain action repeatedly. That's why I see like dashing back and forth. Like you can actually find out someone's tempo of when they're going to actually attack you. A lot easier for that compared to doing like full hop dares and fairs, because doing a full hop like that, you can only do that like once, like every 3 seconds or something like that, because you have to land down eventually if that was your way of finding out someone's tempo. So that's why it makes sense you don't use it that often.
Yeah,
But,
I get what
but
you're saying.
so yeah, like with the dash backs, you can find out someone's tempo because, say for example, you dash in, you dash back, they don't do anything. You dash in, you dash back, they don't do anything. But then you dashed in, they decide to come towards you during the third dash. You found out, oh, they're kind of a more patient person. They wait a little bit to see what's kind of going on. So then you can start taking advantage of the fact that they wait like maybe 2 seconds or something, like the interval of like you doing 2 dashes before they commit to something.
Okay.
So tempo deals with doing a certain action.
Do you think that there's like another way outside of just like just dashing in or dashing out that I could kind of get a feel of like of their tempo? Like when you're playing, like you can kind of feel the tempo going on, but what do you think would be like another like conceptual way to kind of like gauge their tempo, outside of just dash dancing?
Well, it kind of goes back, funny enough, to what we talked about before with game plans, actually, because I was actually going to bring that. So it's an excellent question you brought up, because I was about to dive into that next part of it. So there is dash in, dash back, and count. Doing a certain act continuously. Well, let me change this. In counting it takes for them to do something about it. So if you read that actual sentence right there, like tempo deals with doing a certain action continuously, counting how long it takes for them to do something about it. That's actually the same as like if you did like a game plan. So dash back and see when they react, or when we talked about your game plan about doing shield pressure on someone's shield. So like you have them in shield starting with what is it, low hitting bear and prepping for another one. So this is instead of like doing the up tilt right after, like we talked about, instead prepping for another back air. Like this is what, if you watch cloud players, like when they do continuous back airs like that, they can find out someone's tempo from doing this, because there is the start of it, which is the whole hitting back air for prepping for another Actually, instead of typing it here, I think it might be better just to show you. So let me swap the screen real quick. And then I'll just fill it in later. So I hope this actually works because the game for some reason likes to actually kick the mods off whenever I have the visual display for the controller.
Oh, gotcha.
So where is our good buddy Fox McCloud? There he goes. So there's a few ways that we can actually find, like, kind of craft tempo. Actually, there we go. So with like that game plan that we were saying before about where is the sensitive option shield, make it infinite. So right now I have it just infinitely shielding. We had that game plan before where like we're just going to back air down tilt, back air down tilt. That has inherent timing built into it a little bit, but the easier way to look into like finding someone's timing is if you did repeated back airs, because what happens is that, let's say you do the first back air and then as in like you set up for another back air and you actually hit them, you're finding out that like they like to let go of their shield about the same timing that you go for another back air. Basically. So that would be that when I went back to the tempos, that would be tempo 1 right there. Is you when the move is active and it's hitting their, when you're trying to hit their shield with it, that's tempo 1. So let's do a follow-up option and say when they get hit, they are going to do their out. Actually, let's have them do fair out shield. So when we do that, and let's have them delay the option a little bit. Delay, not pummel delay, but let's delay DI direction. Nope, it's not that. It is actually, let's have them, instead of like doing that, let's have them do a different option out of shields. Let's have them do a little laggier option. Just for shits and giggles, let's have them do down there. Now, imagine if this is like a slower move that they're doing. Basically, they're holding on to their shield until you're about to get ready to, and trying to actually do an option like the moment that your back air comes out. That's tempo 1 there.
Okay.
The fair that they did, like that we had them do before that, that would be finding out that they is technically tempo 0 because you didn't have the time to even be able to hit them with the with your back air. Like they already preemptively did that because they know that from your tempo you're going to do another back air. So that's why they preemptively, before your other back air came out, they did an attack out of shield. So how you find out someone's tempo is basically, I like to describe it as, you know, the old Tootsie Roll commercials for like the Tootsie Roll Pop.
Yeah.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Yeah.
How many back airs does it take until I get you to do something? So if it's 1, then okay, after 1 back air, you're going to actually try and do some option out of shield. I'm going to, and then like the other good part about it is that if you feel like at any point in time that they're going to actually do something and you don't know their tempo quite yet, you can just back air, run away. And then if they don't do anything, it's like, oh, okay, I can do more back airs. If or I can even decide to grab if they're waiting that long. But we're finding out after 1 back air, they decide to jump on the Tootsie Roll, hold shield, go for a punish after. Or decide, even because they're doing that, like preemptively, up tilt. Like our game plan was before.
Yeah.
So you can do that with shield. You can do this at ledge too. That's just the common way of actually doing it is like for Fox doing repeated back airs, seeing how long it takes for them to try and punish it with a get up attack. And then when you feel a get up attack is coming or a roll is coming, you'll dash away. And then if you see that you can do multiples of these before they do something, you can mix in deciding to go for a trump. Or if you're noticing that like they'll let you actually dash back in before they do anything, you can do the back air, come back in, go for a trump, and start forcing them to do options quicker. And then just either dash away or mix in your shield when you feel like you've got their tempo. And then once you know their tempo, that's when you can actually decide to more commit to things.
That makes a lot more sense.
And you can see it from the gameplay in the first game too, a bit. Let's swap over to that here. Turn that down so I can be able to go into that map. So from here, a tempo that Dark Wizzy probably was catching on to from your gameplay is that anytime that you're on the ground, more than often than not, like you may, like you just did there, like you mixed up just doing a little dash in, dash back, just to kind of maybe bait something out of him. But once you do that, you commit it in. So let's see if when you're on the ground, is that like your tempo thing that like maybe you'll do that or maybe you'll decide to go in for something. Because see, Dark Wizzy was prepping up for a back air because he saw from before that you dash in, dash back. You did that before. Yep, and so he was prepping up for the back airs. That's why, like you were saying before, it feels like he's really good with it. It's because he caught on to your tempo of doing the little dash in, dash backs.
Ah, so you think if I would have held forward instead of dashing out or dashing in again,
you would have hit him?
I would have hit him.
Yep, because he was prepping for a what is it? A not rising aerial, but a falling aerial.
He was prepping for that back air, yeah.
Yep, and if you decide to run in and immediately do up tilt, that would have actually either connected or maybe you decide to just do a dash attack. Because you're right in the spot basically for it. So, or actually instead, yeah, I think you do a little jump right here. So instead of like even slightly delaying yourself again, going in all the way. Even though you still do get the back air right there though.
Yeah. Can you freeze it before that dash in, the dash back?
Yeah, let me make it back to a full screen here. So you said that you wanted it right before
I think it's after that.
Like
after
right
that
here?
Up air. Like half a second back. Like right after the short hop up air underneath the platform.
Oh, I don't know why it's actually slowing down a little bit. Hold on a second. Let me back it up. Just for some reason, it's actually might be processing something else on the screen. So let me change that. So you said like after he's off stage and then pause after that?
No, like before I dash back.
Oh, okay. So after this.
Yeah.
And about right here?
Like just a tiny bit more, like half a second. Right there. So after this, so if I would have landed here, and just like keep this left side of the stage, like just hold this, like say like instead of I dashed away, like do you think I should have like kept the pressure here with that tempo change? Because I think one of the reasons why I dashed away here also was I was afraid that he was gonna land and then back air as like a defensive option, or land and then maybe turn around short hop up air, you know. But he's the one in disadvantage right now. I would say. So do you think I still should have kept that pressure as also a tempo change? So maybe like if he landed, I could have like if he shielded, that I could have like kind of like grabbed him or something instead of like, I don't know, preemptively hoping he doesn't back air me.
I'd say it's completely fine, like in that regards, to like dash back for that situation because of
Okay.
you still having stage control. Because like you said, you're trying to also look at like good positioning for like stage control, and you being this close to him, maybe might make him suggest to him that maybe he wants to actually do something because of how close you are. So he might try to actually back air you or maybe dash attack just to try and bait you out. So I agree with maybe like backing up to maybe whiff punish it if we're finding out that's what he likes to do. So ultimately it just depends on if that's his idea
If
of
that's
trying
his
to
game.
get back is trying to fight back immediately.
Okay. And then if like a third scenario happens or a second scenario of this happens, do you think instead of doing the dash back, so he shielded when he hit the floor, and then he saw me dash away. So do you think instead maybe like if I were to be put in that scenario again, I would instead like be a little bit more aggressive instead of dashing out, dashing in, if he's gonna like, if he has like a good understanding of my tempo.
Yeah, I'd say like if that situation happens again, instead you probably stay your ground. Maybe you might decide to go for the grab, or maybe you might decide to just stay there and just put a little pressure on his shield.
Or just put pressure, yeah, but not like dash away.
Yeah,
as I
you
did
want
last
that.
time.
Yeah, you probably want to dash away in that situation because now you've already found out that that's a tendency, like in the corner when he's landing, is that like he'll go into like shield, which he just did again right there.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like that's what you tried to do too. You just full hop instead of doing a short hop back there.
Wait, can you go back one more time on that one? I think I saw it. It was just so fast.
Cause yeah, he oh, not there. I'm trying to figure out why it's buffering like this so much. It might just be because of my Switch being on at the same time for something. But it seems to be fine after a couple seconds. But yeah, he back airs, then he landed immediately. That seems like a common thing he likes to do. Like when he lands, when he does something off the ledge. Oh, here's the other thing I was going to point out about his timing. For like when I was talking about timing for ledge. Let's say, imagine that. I'm actually going to back up a bit more so it can just. Actually, I know what I need to do. It's probably just because of the fact that it's 720/60, so I'm just going to change the quality a little bit. It's not that bad quality. So
That's pretty cool.
So let's say for like you have him in like this escort situation, or like anytime that he's on the ledge, do you know like a timing for him versus like your timing as well, like when you get off the ledge? Your timings are both kind of instant, and that like I'll roll back to like the timings that like when he got off the ledge right here, it was practically instant, like maybe just a couple frames. But if, say for example, you decide to throw a back air at that same timing, you might, if you decide to do something like, you know, say he decides to jump from ledge and tries to do something, it would have hit him regularly getting up, it would miss, but you would have been in this situation where like you'd be able to actually shield right after. If you get up attack, it would have beaten it. So that means that you can, instead of doing the backer, you can just prep yourself by just deciding to short hop and then fall back down and shield, or short hop then run back. Because the way I like to actually prep for like a like I said before, to try and like prep for like finding out how many times it takes for someone to eat a Tootsie Roll pop or licks it takes, is you can keep pressuring the ledge there, like doing just like one back air, and then when you think that they're about to actually just eat it fully, just dash back away. And I think he does the opposite to you here too once he actually puts you on the ledge, because you get up instantly and he instantly runs back. He doesn't even try to mess
Yeah.
with anything. He just instantly runs back and tries to cover roll. So even though you decide to actually forward air this time like this to try and get off, if you actually did roll like he was expecting, it would have caught it. But since he just decided to run back and you did that fair at the same time, he has enough time to at least react to the other options.
Gotcha.
Oops. Yeah, so for most part of neutral, just watch like these couple of seconds here, just like your interactions of like whenever you are actually dashing. Like just watch how like you'll do a dash back and then like that's when you'll actually go in fully. So like that instant,
Yeah.
for example, that's the first time you actually fully committed, but I think that's just because you know he's in disadvantage, so that's when you go for it. But when it's in neutral, it is a lot of that dash back, didn't commit, like try and go full in close to them.
I'm seeing that now, yeah.
Yep, and see, there we go again. Like we pointed out before, that timing of, and you even did it perfectly this time too, instead of putting out the back air. He got up and like regularly get up about the same timing, and you were prepping for a was it for a get up attack from it too.
Yeah.
So honestly, that combined with if you're facing the other direction, that grab would actually land it too. Whether he actually get up attacked or you regularly get up, because we know at that timing, his second option afterwards is liking the shield. Whenever he gets out of a disadvantaged situation. Oop. Yep, and then the nair that he did there, because that covered your instant timing of trying to do something.
Yeah.
Getting off ledge. Hey, it's
That's
all
pretty
good.
crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about any of that. That's crazy.
It's all good. We'll get him back in the game too.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the changes are. See, I hate to just stop every time, but
no, this is.
But just like think, what would have been the reason for him to actually just run across stage like that, so confident?
I know.
If it wasn't for like, even though you rolled, him thinking you would have dashed back.
Right. Yeah. Jesus, I didn't even think about that. My goodness. And I did the same thing there off the platform. I dashed away, and then full committed.
Hey, it's not, like I said, like it's not a problem to do it. It's just always questioning like maybe why is it the reason? Because like you had said before, it might be that you're doing it because you're expecting an aggressive option out of someone, so maybe you're trying to whip punish them, just like when it was in the corner situation.
I think it's a little bit of that, but like, I mean, we're like, you know, we're in game 2 right now. Like, I can't keep on doing it. You know, I think it's a little bit of like a confidence, like maybe I'm just being like a little too patient, or not enough confidence in committing into something, you know?
Oh, okay. So maybe just not. Oh, that should be a stock there. Yep, get that nair out there. Thank you for going out and edge guarding. You are one of 10 players in Smash Ultimate who actually edge guard. Congratulations.
Yeah. When I saw that air dodge off stage, I'm like, yeah, that's free.
That's all it takes. It's just the air dodge or a bad situation. Oh. We have some tricks today in game 2, courtesy of Foxguy6.
He was getting a little cocky with it. I could tell.
Okay. See, good. Like like I was about to say, it's like not bad situation to do that little dash back there when you're just trying to find out his tempo for things, because you tried to actually do an option on his shield. Maybe you were probably thinking this might be the time when he actually tries to actually eat the whole Tootsie Roll pop and decide to go for an option, so you dash back away. You did at a good time, and you came back in afterwards. Okay.
This was disappointing.
Oh, the stock, or
Yeah, the stock.
oh.
I knew I shouldn't have gone for that full rapid jab.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, good. See, yeah, your advantage state's got a lot better with not trying to force it too much. And then you caught on to his instant timing, so maybe both the fact that he regularly gets up, but what did he do out of the situation? I'm going to slow it down a little bit, because I don't think you caught him before on that one frame of invulnerability.
I think I did.
Could have been, but let me see.
That one I've been labbing that a little bit on the train.
Oh, maybe you did. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you did, because I didn't see a single. It looked like his frames just came out and there wasn't anything he was doing. Well, yeah, see, that was an example there of you catching on to his timing of when he gets up and instantly doing the up smash there.
That's crazy. He has those same habits too. You think he knows that he has those habits?
He possibly, well, maybe. I'll say this. He does not know it yet until he has one of my coaching sessions. But he probably does, because I'm sure what it probably is that like maybe it's just like a he's aware of it, but like he thinks because it's a not that bad of an option to do. Because like I have the same habit of like when I regularly get up, I tend to like shield pretty often too, because I'm assessing the risk reward that I'm only going to be vulnerable for one frame, and if I'm playing either a character that doesn't have a long-lasting hitbox, or I'm playing against an opponent who never uses the long-lasting hitbox, I should be getting away pretty easily. Because the only thing they can do is grab, and if they're not going to grab me, I don't see them been doing any grabs or anything. I feel like I can just reverse the situation right afterwards.
Okay, that's very interesting.
So he might have that mindset about it, or he could possibly not know about it. But let's see here. Okay, so Mario combos, no big whoop. Okay. Yep.
That should have been an up tilt right there.
All good. Like we said before, your advantage state has gotten better from not burning your jumps too quickly.
Yeah.
And really trying to stay below them than try and force options out. So it's good that you even got yourself into that good situation. Okay. All right, so let me see here real quick. Was his role? Yeah, his role was. So see, his ledge options are at the same timing. It doesn't matter what he does. He will always do his ledge options at the same timing. So since you know this, something that you could build into like a ledge game plan, for example, is like just doing one back air just to threaten just to threaten him doing
The
something
neutral get up?
immediately. Huh?
To throw in like the instant neutral get up.
Yep. And then after that, you can decide to, based on what it is, you can decide to actually, after we find out what it is that he likes to do, before that, just dash away. You already know that that he likes to regularly get up, so that's why you did the back air and you decided to stay at right next to ledge. So now you can just change it slightly, and instead of doing a back air, like not back air, but instead of like staying at ledge, you can do one back air into run to roll distance, and we'll see if he's going to actually roll this time. If not, then well, now you still got good positioning. And you still get good positioning because of the fact that he did it at the same tempo, and you caught on to his tempo, so you could dash attack him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Alright, so now he's adding a little variance on his timing, but so now instead of maybe, oh no, it's back to immediate. He only did it for just that one occasion. But you can see how just deciding to just count how many back airs you can do can actually allow you to find out someone's timing from something.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Okay, so 1, 2, about maybe 2 or 3 of them before you decide to do an option. Yeah, this might be the moment he's aware. Ooh, good call out there. Well, aware that he's doing that he's got the same tempo when he's at the ledge or like when he's doing stuff. So he's trying to actually just mix that up a little bit and get you with that.
Yeah, he did he didn't attack off that ledge this time.
Even though it was instant timing, it's the fact that he delayed his last option makes you actually think, is he going to actually be instant? Is he going to actually do a delayed thing now? Oh, Mario City, please stop it. Yep, he delayed a little bit again this time. Instead of like doing instant like he did the last time. Good. Yeah, all of this is a good advantage state right here.
Yeah, I played well in this last stock here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised like if you got the stock right here. Oh,
I was looking for the down air.
all
looking
good.
for that down air smash.
But yeah, all that. Yeah, that last sequence there, that was all good. Good advantage, like just trying to maintain your positioning. I know we didn't talk too much about positioning, but like I'll just cover what I saw just like from this sequence here, like for this stock. So he gets past you, he gets this, I think he gets this back throw, and then like from here on, like it's when the sequence starts. So yeah, you get yourself back in, you do this, you're fighting more inside, you're fighting like covering the center. You decide to wait down, and you're still not like forcing anything. All you're just doing is just putting light hits, just putting yourself in better situations like the whole entire time. I'm not seeing dash, like I'm not seeing like, I don't want to say like I'm not seeing dash attacks, but I'm seeing like dash attacks when you've either burned your options or he's already committed to something. And I'm seeing a lot of like, tilts or like smaller hitboxes, like no smash attack.
Right.
Okay. Was there instances like throughout that set that maybe you wanted to actually go back to or anything? Because I know I mainly talked about like tempo through it, but like if there's like instances of like just positioning that you're kind of wanted to know about.
There was one that I have in mind. I don't remember. It happened throughout the game. But it mainly happened on like the left side. So like when I would do like a combo, so like if I was on like the left side of the stage, and he'd like land on the platform, I'd throw like an up air, but he would like run off platform on like the left side. So, and I feel like I'll lose a little bit of like an advantage state there, as opposed to um, like being patient.
Hmm.
Would have to find that one.
Um,
I think it was like early game too. I might be wrong though.
early game 2. Let's see here. We get a little combo. Go for a down throw. On back inside of him. Yeah, he's waiting. Okay. Yeah, I think this goes back to what we were just seeing before we
Yeah.
reversed it. I can just try recreating it like in just on my Switch real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
So let's go back to that. Game. And let me take a look here. Just going to already get someone on the platform, and he scaled him perfectly. Is he still
like
there? Yep. Okay, but go ahead.
so like if I just did like a combo on him and like from like the high ceiling of the stage, but I like burned my double jump, so I ended up having to fall down. But like if I fell through the platform and then he falls on the platform, I would throw like an upper to catch his landing, but he would end up like rolling off to like the outside of the stage, the outside position of the stage, and like I'm wondering, like, should I wait for an option should I wait for one of his options, or I don't know how to explain it.
Should you, instead of letting him, because I think what you're saying is, if I can move DD over a little bit. So let's say like you have him falling on the platform right here, and he's shielding, and he decides to run off the like over there. So you're saying instead of actually deciding to just keep the up air pressure, should you decide to actually do something about him running off to the right side towards the corner?
Yeah, like running off, or just like see, like I don't know what to do in that scenario. I guess the best thing to do when he runs off. Like should I just keep the stage position just in case he tries to throw something out, or?
I think what you can do is, if you're already constantly putting out up airs like this, if he's deciding instead of actually instead of actually doing something that is instead of actually doing something like try to jump away or try to actually run towards the center of the stage and run towards the corner, I think you're completely fine with just doing, just keeping that pressure on him. Because if you're actually just up there and pressuring him and his escape options, telling himself, I need to run into the corner, so like run off the platform to the side to get away from you, it's going to alleviate that immediate pressure that he was feeling. But the fact that now it's just turned into, instead of like this one good situation into another similar like good situation for you, it's completely fine to not really like force anything from it.
Okay.
I guess the only time that, like, say maybe you want to try and punish him for running towards like the others, like underneath here, is maybe it's higher percents like for him, and maybe you think you can get a kill off of this because of like going back into that tempo thing. If, say for instance, you do 1 up air, 2 up air, 3 up airs, 4 up airs, and then after the 4th up air, it's when he lets go of his shield, and for some reason you're not able to actually, or maybe he parries it and then he decides to run off to the side. Will this hit? Okay, well. Similar to that tempo thing, is that let's say like it's higher percent, and I'll have my boy decide to do. I'll just have him dash. I think I saw one of those as options. Yep, there it is. Oh, because he's holding shield, it's going to make him roll. That's interesting. Okay, change the plans. Let's say, and I gotta change how many times it hits the shield. So shield offset 1, and I'm going to have him decide to do a. I'm gonna have him decide to do a dash attack. No. So let's just say, like, for example, we get him to. Okay, so we've got him to do that. Oh, it's counting it as 1. That's interesting. So let's say after 2 hits of like you doing up air on his shield is when he decides to actually do an action out of shield. You can still keep your pressure on, but like you're saying, like he decides to actually try to run away towards the other side, like opposite of you.
Yeah.
It's completely fine if you just want to let him get away with doing that, going towards the corner, because you're still going to have good positioning. But maybe you want to go ahead and take advantage of the fact that he does that every single time, and you want to kill him from it. So, well, actually that wouldn't actually even work either, because I really wish he would actually run off this platform. But let's say, you know, obviously what I'm kind of going for here is like you see him trying to run off the platform like that, you can start the up smash.
That's such like a fast, it's like a fast reaction, I feel like.
Like going for that?
Yeah, by going for like I've seen Light do it a few times, but that's like, I feel like that's such a fast reaction that's like almost a read, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, but what you're saying is like, yeah, it makes sense, like, because Dark Wizard did that like 3 or 4 times. But you're saying like gather the tempo first, like understand like when he drops shield and dashes off and then throw it out.
Yeah, like let's try and find one of those examples earlier in the set. Just so I can actually kind of show that, because I know there was opportunities for like you had him on the plat, this might be it here. So kind of like that, but instead that like in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you find out after one attempt of up air that he'll run off and like he'll do a back air or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe we set him up for that situation again on the plats. And let's see if he does that again, because then if he does that, you can take advantage of it by, oh, that might have been the next situation. No, not there. Let's see.
Oh, it's probably, I think it was that one, actually. Yeah, right here, I think. There it is, yeah. So I kind of like also like dashed away, like I dashed back to like the middle. I think that's also what we were talking about, like should I keep that, whether I should keep that stage control or not, instead of just dashing towards like the complete middle.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like, I think that dash away was because like I didn't know what to do also.
Yeah, because we didn't know what he does immediately after like he gets off the platform like that, which we found out later. He'll normally try and, because in his mind he's still in disadvantage, so he's going to shield there, and then that's when we exactly point out that like when he's still in disadvantage, like in the corner or something, he's going to opt to throw out that shield. And then that's when we started the discussion about that. So yeah, if you're noticing you're putting him like in disadvantage again like that, like on the platform, and just pressuring with up airs, like not allowing him to get past you, then we're probably just going to bet that he's going to run off back air into shield. So if that's kind of that instance of it, you can prep yourself for that timing by doing a small dash in, pop up your shield for a parry, and then punish afterwards, or even before it happens. See, like you just did there. See, you already know how you're supposed to do it. Why ask me? You're the expert.
But then when he goes to the inside of the stage, yeah.
But here's the thing, he did it on the outside too. When we
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He did. He did it on the outside when you had got him on that platform earlier too. Okay, well I guess he air dodged, but oh, because he was probably trying to shield there. Well, yeah, even then, because he tried to do something. The fact he tried to do something off of the platform, like run off or run off back here, or try to get away from you like that. They feel like you can take advantage of that and try to actually either go for an up smash when it's at higher percents, but when it's not at higher percents where you don't really get much off of like continuing the pressure like that, it's fine. Like you're kind of thinking of just keeping that ground, maybe dash back a little bit till you find out what he does, but if you know what he's going to do, just maintain that position, just put the pressure on still.
Gotcha.
Now I'm going to try to look at a couple other things that might have noticed from the set here.
I feel a lot more like patient when I play now. You know, like I'm not just like throwing stuff out anymore. Kind of like waiting for an opening.
Trying to actually find yourself gauging what it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I feel like the last time we did our session, I was like super antsy.
And what was it that you said from that last time that you felt that like made yourself feel like antsy all the time?
I think one part of it was like I guess some of the anxiety that I have when I play, but I still kind of have it. But I think when we did the coaching session, I think the big part was like that's like advantage state, like keeping the advantage state, and then you were telling me like why to keep the advantage state, you know, like why and how. Like the positioning was like the big part, like not overcommitting. And then I think I started to see it a lot in like my neutral game, or just start throwing out nair like 6 times. And I think that's when I kind of realized like I can't just throw aerials just because they're safe. You know, I got to be like a little bit more delicate and calculated with that. I've also been playing a lot of chess, and like the more I play, the more I study it. I'm starting to like kind of figure out that like every move, every piece of movement matters. You know, like every dash in, like every aerial, every jump. It's like it's all information that can be downloaded.
And it's not like it's going to be the game-changing win right there, like just off of that thing. Like it's something that you can use to put yourself in the better position.
Right. Because that's ultimately like what we're trying to grab is like better positioning and advantage. So
I guess since it's like not too much like talked about during like the set here, we can just maybe do like some scenarios for like things like in game, or like maybe talk about it a little bit. So like what are maybe positions like in neutral that like maybe you don't feel too comfortable with like positioning, like if it either came up during the set or like in general, like when it comes to neutral.
Okay, I mean like specific examples.
Yeah, like maybe some over like your time playing Ultimate.
I think it really like goes back to like that like dash dance thing. You know, like if I'm in like the left side or left platform and they're like underneath the right platform, like for some reason I still get anxious and like I get anxious and, like using my speed to track them down, you know, like I'm okay with like being patient and waiting for them to throw the first move, which is like I know it's like a good thing, but like I think the other part where I'm trying to develop my game is like not being afraid of using Fox's speed to just instead of just like dashing away, but to just like full dash in and see if I can find something from that data, instead of just playing in like a one speed game. I feel like. Does that make sense?
So if I'm understanding it, like you want to see if you can actually find out. You feel like when like you have someone like in the corner or something like this, or like on a platform, you're saying like you want to maybe try and find a way of just, you said, finding out their tempo or like their game plan just from like your speed and things like that.
Yeah, like taking advantage of Fox's like movement speed. Like I feel like I'm not utilizing his speed and his frame data as well as I could be. Like I'm still playing like a defensive Fox instead of the way that he was developed, which I feel like is a little bit more aggressive and in your face. Which is why I like to study Light a lot, because I kind of want to like still understand on how does he keep the pressure, why does he keep the pressure in the scenarios. I think now over like the past like month and a half, I'm starting to like really understand why. And I don't know, I feel like it's really interesting because I think he does play Fox the optimal way, and I'm trying to like really grasp onto that and change that into my game.
What things do you think from him like neutralize like offensively that's missing? Because I think like you're trying to get something going with like with his dashing, but is there something else about it, like positioning wise?
I think that big thing, like sometimes I just see Light just like dash all the way across the stage, and then he gets like he gets something out of it. I'm like, and I'm thinking like, how do you have like no fear in just dashing across the stage and looking for something, but also like how are you doing it? Because I know it's more than just like, oh, I'm dashing across the stage and I'm hoping he shields, but but he's not like afraid to get reversed on for dashing across the stage, which I think is kind of like amazing to think about.
Give me a set of his to maybe look at. Maybe I can maybe try and help look at it there, because something.
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I think it was the Light versus Proto Banham set in Summit, and I think it was the last game, or was that Battlefield game? That's what I'm trying to remember.
Let's see here. Nope. Don't need any YouTube Red. Need this commercial to actually end. Let's see. So you said last game. No, I don't need that. Oh well, YouTube Premium, I guess. So you said like probably the last game that it should be on Battlefield, or
I think it's the Battlefield one.
Oh, the Battlefield one.
It might not be the last game. Yeah.
What game was this? Oh, they were highlighting it. So, it might be the first. What is this? Yeah, this is Battlefield here. So aggressive. Let's see here.
You see, yeah, like that first scenario, like he dashed like all the way across the stage almost for that dash attack.
The reasoning I probably have behind it is, let me see what reasons he could be doing it. Because Proto Banham is usually a pretty aggressive player. Oh, he did that before this. So yeah, he came in, did the side Bs. So I'm like aggressive player. So what he probably reasoned that he was trying to actually do that is he's either just like really betting in, like he probably did this mainly because you know how I was saying like Proto Banham, like just off the get-go he ran in and did a side B. Light took that information in the mind and just thought that so when I move, and I think Light tried to move forward too, or maybe he was just staying still.
He just full sent moves.
Actually moved back a little bit. So he took into mind thinking that whenever they're in neutral, Proto Banham likes to be the one to actually, aggress forward first. So he thought, why don't I beat him before he decides to side B or do something, and preemptively hit him with a dash attack and start my combo.
Okay.
Um, and obviously that it could be a different reason why Light thought of it that way, but that's maybe my reasoning of it is because that he saw Proto Banham from the get-go just run up and side B him and be aggressive like that. So maybe he thought he can beat him out by, preemptively breaking the zone and hitting him that way. Another way that he can look at it, and this is a good way of actually thinking about things with when you choose options if you feel afraid to do anything. Just like you said, like when you're playing chess, everything you do in the game where you get hit or like you hit them is information gathering.
Yeah.
So if he found out from this situation, he decided to dash attack. He found out, Proto Banham sometimes will actually try to whip punish me coming in. Maybe I should actually try and learn a little bit more about him, because he showed an aggressive Proto Banham, and he showed a whiff punishing Proto Banham. So I need to find out in which scenarios activates which one.
Okay.
So now let's see. Yeah, see, like he ran up and shielded again because he was trying to find out which Proto Banham's in control right now. Because from what we watched a little earlier, once he got put onto he whip punishes him with the side B, and then he starts coming in. Aggressive Proto Banham's back in control, so he's thinking, okay, aggressive Proto Banham's in, so I'm going to shield and try to whip punish him doing his aerial. So even though he's getting hit, he's still taking that as information for finding out which one's in control right now.
Gotcha.
And you can find that out by what Light was trying to do there, just doing the doing the dash attacks, or even the dash in, dash back, like you were doing. You can do it where you can dash in just about into the space where they can decide to actually do a dash attack preemptively, or do an aggressive option preemptively and then dash back, because this is I'll swap back to the game real quick and explain this, because it basically makes it into two different ways of finding out information, because there's the and then let's put on the ground. So there's two ways of that information I'm gathering. There's the dash in, dash back, which obviously, okay, if I'm dashing and dashing back, I'm finding out his tempo of when he's actually going to do something. But what if you're dashing in, dashing back from this distance? Is he going to and you see he's just staying in shield? Maybe he's just going to stay in shield because there's no threat from you just dashing and dashing back to find out when he's going to commit to something, because he has all the time in the world to react. So what if instead you dash all the way here and then dash back and just keep doing it like this? Now the range is different, so that means that now he's going to actually react, because if he doesn't do anything at this range, you can just actually run in and decide to actually grab if you see that he's just being patient at that.
Okay.
Compared to doing dash in, dash back from a range where there's no way you're going to actually be able to attack him and he won't be able to maybe react, because if you try and do it from this distance, even though Fox is fast, they could still react to it. Whereas if you do it from maybe this distance, it's a little harder for them to react to it, or maybe even still take it back.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I think in that situation, I think he did do a little pivot in the middle of the stage, and then he committed.
For Light or for
Light, yeah. At the very beginning.
Yeah, because he dashed back in he did a little dash back, and then that's when Proto Banham took advantage of it. So maybe that could be a way of saying when I actually give up space, Proto Banham's going to be a little more aggressive with it, because he was already expecting it to be aggressive. He just didn't think he was going to be go all the way to the corner like that. When he could like on react and be able to come back and like maybe do a dash attack. So, no, surprised I didn't kill him actually there. That one does. So I think that's probably what will help you with that aggression of like part of that aggression is just like the distance that you're playing with Fox's speed, because it's that distance where like it's unreactable.
Okay.
Because I'll swap over to back to the game here, and like I'll bring this other point up again. Oh, well, actually, I had it on display and you forgot to change it from the OBS. But let's say, for example, put him back on the ground and have him unshielding here. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's only if its hits done when he'll do the dash attack. So let's say, for example, if you're at this distance here, I wish that would actually would have triggered him to actually do something. All right, so we're going to mess with items a little bit so I can get him to do stuff. And take that percent down, since lasers aren't going to trigger him to actually do anything. It's a good item that's just going to get him to... Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to throw this capsule at him. And we're going to have different results, obviously, but... if we get him to, we throw this capsule at him, like, so say, for example, we're just throwing out a laser, and the laser basically gets him to always immediately dash attack. Are we afraid of him from doing lasers at this distance if he instantly dash attacks?
No.
And why is that?
Because we're spaced out to not get hit, but also,
right.
If he does do something, we can counter.
So now let's move it a little more and then throw it, and hopefully not get. Yeah. So let's move it a little closer. Okay. A little more scary, but we're right outside of the range of it. So we'll feel maybe still comfortable to, like, maybe not do lasers, but we'll feel comfortable to maybe like do things in this range. So what happens if we get into this range?
Probably no lasers.
Nope. Well, yeah, and not also that, but what is it? Also, we might be afraid of other options, because if we're in the range that we can get hit by dash attack randomly, that means we can get surprised by him by maybe some of his other options too at this range. He might decide to just run in and just fair. So let's just have... oh, he's just only going to place it to do that. So yeah, he can get surprised by just deciding to run in fair, or like he can decide to like just run in and run back just like we do. Now for him, it's different because it's still not a bad situation for you, because even though he could dash attack like from that range, if we're both aware of it, or like if it's a slow move like dash attack, we can react
we can just
to
shield
it. Yeah, like we can easily shield it, or we can react to it. Whereas if it's Fox, who's such a quicker character, at this range he has to do things more preemptively, because if I'm just a little closer like this, I can just dash attack and start my combos from that. Like that. So staying at like this range and just messing around with it, like, am I going to dash attack right here, or maybe I'm just going to actually grab you? Maybe I'll decide to just full hop in at this exact range. So what you'll probably want to do to get better with feeling more comfortable pressuring people is trying to fight people right outside of the range of, like, right at that range of like where dash attack will just barely connect. Because if you get them at that range, they're going to get very scared. They're going to start doing things more preemptively, and then that's when you start finding out their habits that they'll do because they're afraid of things happening. This is actually the way how you fight most zoners too, because if you get them in that range where they can't throw their projectiles and stuff, like we're saying, like with Fox Laser, they can still throw the projectile immediately if they want to, but it's because now they can't just react to it. They have to do things preemptively that you'll start seeing them either swing more or you'll start seeing them dash back more, things like that, when you actually decide to do your dash in and your dash backs, or like even dash into that range and then dash back.
But yeah, that makes sense. But like when I also watched Light, he's also like very like he does like a very good job with like you said, like his spacing between him and whoever he's fighting. Like, do you see how he like kind of like dashes out and dashes in? Is that like what is his mindset between um like how far he should go? Is it just based on like what options does the other character have, so like I don't get hit? Kind of like how you said with like DDD's dash attack or fair.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically that. It's both their options and also the player's tendency. Because we've seen from the match so far that Prolaban is willing to go a little further just to hit Light after he does things because he is aggressive. So I think like Light walking away like right here, if Prolaban decides to do a dash attack, would whiff it. But because he knows that Prolaban overshoots a lot, he's moving even further back in anticipation of him either doing the dash attack even further away or running in and doing something else. And then when he realizes, like from the situation, oh, he's not doing anything, he's just trying to take the space back, like with no aggressive options, that's when he swaps it up and runs back in. And he does the dash attack.
So how do you know when to how do you know when to like keep the spacing or like be aggressive in that scenario? You know? Or is that just like a feeling? Is that like a feeling and an experience thing?
No, there's some ways that you can go about it. So if I'm trying to understand it, when is it that you feel like you need to play? If I'm answering it right, when do you feel like you need to actually play in this space, like play in this certain space, and when do you get to actually do your actions?
Yeah, that's like the question.
Okay. Well, this might be good for positioning neutral because what it is we can just talk about it a little bit. So positioning, yeah, and we can make that actually your topic for like your neutral, basically. So on the topic of neutral, basically, there is, I like to say that, and I've talked with my friend Price about this, and we kind of both agreed that there's kind of like a hierarchy for this, but how you decide actually how. It's funny, I actually had the same conversation with because I do coaching for esports for like a local esports team for like a robotics club, and had the same topic when I did live reviews with them recently. So the way you can tell who can play in the space and who plays first depends on these things, basically. It depends on, and in this order too, is who has a projectile. And so, like, for example, well, actually, I'll go down them and then we'll go into the match against D and Fox, and we'll just talk it through. So, projectile, who has the range?
Yeah.
So, projectile, who, if you obviously have projectile, you can fight from a further range. So, you can just stay at that further range and just win off of that the whole entire time, especially depending on the type of projectile. 2 is the range. Who, when you're in certain ranges, who has better range on their options? The third thing is who has frame data. And then the fourth thing is kind of like special properties associated with the top 3. So, like, let's say, for example, you have armor, multi-hits on your moves, or it can only, basically just like those things. For example, you have armor, you have multi-hit, maybe you have multiple jumps or something like that makes it hard for, or multiple like hitboxes that makes it hard for you to be able to just deal with that move normally. And this fifth thing, this one is lowest on the totem pole until it actually matters, is the life lead. And I think this is the one most people know, because if you have the life lead, you can force the other person to come to you. So let's go into, let's see here. Oh, and how this ties into like knowing who gets to play in the spaces is that you look at these things based on like whose strongest tools are at those ranges.
Yeah.
At strong tools at close, mid, and long range. So now, if I swap over to, so we'll do an example of like Fox and DDD real quick in game, and then we'll talk. I'll have you talk through Fox Lucina after. So let's just start the match. From here, we say Fox has the advantage because of laser. It's not that big of an advantage because it's only, so much that he can actually do. Like, he's just chipping some points away at them, but it's still an okay advantage, like, for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So because he has laser at long range, he uses laser to force them to come to closer to him because he wants to fight you at close range.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, he's still set to that. Taking him off of that. Actually, I think. Oh no, I saved it up there. Exit out of this. Go to settings so I don't have him mashing dash attack the entire time. Okay. So yeah, so long range, Fox has the advantage because of this. So he forces people to come to him more so in mid range in order to stop him from shooting lasers. Because like I was saying, like, in this range, if he decides to shoot a laser, DD on reaction, if he throws a dash attack at the same time I'm starting to shoot lasers, it's going to hit. So it tells me this range I have to stop shooting lasers. So what's going on in mid-range? Now we're looking at the range of their attacks. Because I can't really use projectiles at this range without unless I'm doing it on preemptively to stop an approach, or like to force him to do something so I can cover an option after. But lasers aren't designed that way. They're just designed to force approaches, and that's it. So at this range, we'd say Giddy is better suited because of the fact that he doesn't have the frame data, but he does have the range option, kind of like a sword character. So if he wants since he knows Fox wants to get in, he basically fights at this mid range just to push him out with forward airs and back airs. He'll just preemptively do them. And so because of that, I don't have as much range as D as Fox. I have to basically find out how he is throwing his good option, which is forward airs, back airs, and how is he trying to stop me from coming in. So if he's throwing forward airs the moment that I'm actually coming in, like with a dash, I'm just going to run and shield it and then punish right afterwards. So that way I forced it into a close situation, and then I can just abuse my frame data, which is faster than that.
Yeah.
And then obviously once it gets into close range, it's just basically my win, because no matter how fast he throws his forward air, because I'm this close to him, my attacks are just going to outbeat him. Like I can up tilt jab, I can nair before he decides to. So he's going to have to throw out his fastest options, but my options are faster. But yeah, in this range where it's mid range, DD has the better control, so you have to play what I call playing second around his options until you figure it out. Just like if you have you played the old Super Mario Brothers? Like the one for like it's two-player where one player is Mario and the other one's Luigi?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is that same concept. If you, let's say D, because his option is more dominant, he's Mario. When the game starts, Mario gets to go first because, well, in those games it's probably because he's the older brother, so he gets to start first. But DDD gets to control the pace of the game at mid-range because of the fact that he has that strong options, those strong range options of fair and back air, to force you out. And he does these options to figure out, okay, so if I'm throwing out my good options, what does he do in retaliation, and how do I need to counter it? So he's all about countering, throwing his good options out, just forcing his will upon you in mid-range and trying to keep mid-range. Just like in the Mario games, Mario's basically just taking his turn and trying to keep his turn for as long as he can until he gets to 8-4. Now, us being Fox, we're Luigi because we're trying to find a way to expose, well, once Mario makes a mistake, or well, like when DDD throws out options, we're trying to find a way to force a mistake on him. Because when we force a mistake, it's our turn. And then now that we take the turn away from him because he made a mistake, or in the case of Mario, he loses his life, it's Luigi's start, so he gets to either make it to the same percent that he got from the same distance or percent that he got when he was playing second, or he could possibly reverse it and take the whole entire lead now because of that.
Gotcha.
So
outside of,
Mhm.
outside of his range, outside of his mid range, like, I feel like this is like an obvious question, but we're just looking for like openings. Like we don't want to be in his mid range because that's his like optimized area, and we're kind of just looking to close the gap and just use our frame data, right?
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. So we'll be in mid range, we'll be right outside of it because we're just trying to.
Yeah, we'll be right outside. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll just maybe just kind of either do things preemptively just to kind of beat him before he does his option, or if he's still doing his option before we can, we're just trying to either beat what he does right after it, which is like, say for example, we get him to throw. Oh, that's right. I can actually have him do follow-up options. So let's say we have him do bear into four there, into where are you? F tilt, and let's see if he'll do that. Okay, so yeah, he will do that. So if we get him to do that, I know it's really slow, but like just kind of imagine that he's fastballing it. So we find out that like after that, to stuff me from after I'm trying to get out of shield, and do a dash attack, we find out he tries to preemptively do F tilt. So what we can do now that we know that, because after he does his fair, he does F tilt, is we'll shield it, immediately come out with shield before he does the option, or even decide to just there's multiple ways that we can punish it. Just wait it out even longer and then punish. Because we're just trying to find where's his pattern in his play, so that way we can be able to abuse the pattern in however we want. Because like I said, we could decide to actually wait it out, or well, we can decide to wait it out and then punish, or if we know that's what he's going to do and we have a quick enough option, we can decide to beat him before the F tilt comes out. And that's what Light is doing too. So I guess before we go into that, if you look at Lucina and Fox, like just talking about that, just keeping in mind projectile range, frame data, and like life lead. Oh, well, just those three to start. At long range, who wins?
I think Lucina.
At long range?
Oh,
Hold on a second. Let me see here. Go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Long range, I'd say Fox with his lasers.
Right. So, and I'll even scroll it back so that way it's it's easier way to actually get the idea here. So yeah, so like match start. We say from this range, Fox wins because the Blazers. So
Yeah.
if we go into mid range, who wins in that range?
I would say Lucina.
And why is that?
I think her sword is probably with both forward air and back air. It just has a much longer extension than any of other Fox's options. Much more range to cover.
Yep. And the other big thing about it, because it's a sword, is, and that was what I was trying to remember, is that it's disjointed. So in order to even hit Lucina, we have to find a way around her zoning us out with this disjoint.
Right.
So that's why, if you see, it also gives more reason to make sense why Light probably decided to go defensive a little bit at the start. Because of the fact that Pro Banham is also an aggressive player, is because he knows that he can't make first decisions normally unless he's just going, from like go, because like they don't know too much about each other too well, today at least, that he can just maybe try to force himself in and try to do a dash attack. It could work, but he didn't find too much out about Pro Banham, like whenever he normally can't get in on him. He just found out that he, unless Pro Banham always lets him get in with dash attacks, and he's finding out that he's not being as aggressive as he should be, because of his disjoint. But we know that's not the case.
And then from Proto Banham's perspective, Light, because thinking like if he was fighting a Fox, he would also think that Fox would rush him down. But like you said, with Lucina's sword, do you think that's why he also committed to the first move, was because he knew that his sword would have a better advantage of connecting on Fox and gaining that neutral advantage?
It could be that reason, because yeah, like we said, it could be that because he knows that from that mid range. Well, this particular reason, it might be because he reacted, I think. Oh no, he immediately went in for it. But yeah, it could be that he wanted to put his dominance on Light as soon as he could, and like not allow Light to actually do that, because like I said before about the from start, since it's at the very start, Light could have decided to just rush in and do a dash attack and just gain the advantage early, because they were both on plats, and it might be hard for Lucina to really stop him until she got on the ground, unless she decided to rush in Because if they both rush off the platforms at the same time, Fox is going to get off the platform first, and then be able to possibly shield or parry Lucina Fair. So he decided to get off the platform from below it, like pushing down off of it, and then run towards him. Or however he decided to do it, he decided to be aggressive to not allow Fox to actually gain that advantage at the very beginning. Yeah, see, he didn't run off, he dropped below it and then ran towards him to stop him from the ground.
Interesting. Okay.
So that way, Light couldn't actually get that advantage immediately. And then now that he did that, now he can actually try and take his turn as the sword fighter of fighting in mid-range. Well, yeah, like you're seeing just from like these first 10 seconds here, this is just the example of why Light has to play second here once they both get like into the corners. So after this is when it's more like the traditional Light having to find a way to get in on Lucina playing second. And he tries to do it because he's noticing that Pearl of Mayhem's starting to actually do falling aerials. So he's trying to run in and shield it and force a bad option. Or even parry it. So he's using shields to play around Lucina's Fair. And then until Proto Bamham changes that up, he might be deciding that he's going to actually try to keep playing around his aerials with Fair. So Proto Bamham's probably going to change it up by doing either immediate aerials, or he's going to try and punish the shield immediately with grabs. That's just probably what I'm betting is going to happen sometime soon. Or the immediate, side Bs before he gets the time to even get close enough to do the shield.
Yeah.
But this is actually helps you figure out matchups a lot quicker when it's a matchup you don't know too well. It's like if you just think of that idea of, okay, if you can at least know what their strong options are, you can figure out, okay, at which ranges I probably want to fight someone at. Let's see, he's going to try running shield again. It's honestly interesting that Pearl of Mayhem's also trying to run in and shield too, or like just shield as well, because maybe he's thinking he's going to mix it up and go for a dash attack now that he's introduced run-in shields from Light.
He was also lasering a lot more Light before he went in for that meet up in the middle.
Oh, that's true too. Maybe it could be just those lasers is possibly telling him that maybe this is probably forcing him to actually approach and like try to actually play around it. So, yep. But yeah, he's doing. I'll go back a little bit just to show it. He is. This is what I was about to say. So like we were saying, Light was doing run-in shields to try and beat the Lucina aerials. Another way of Light trying to actually punish it that he's doing right now is as Pearl of Mayhem is going up prepping for like those falling aerials, because Light knows he's doing falling aerials, is he's trying to immediately dash attack the jump. Or like attack the jump. So that time he probably tried to do it to get the aerial. I think up here in a couple seconds he's going to get it before it happens. Right
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, because you even saw Lucina's hand try to actually come down a bit.
That's pretty risky though, no?
It is. Like, it definitely is doing it. But if he feels confident that he's only doing falling aerials like he's doing, he can definitely do that. Or another thing he can do is in like this situation here, though it's because Pro Bamham decided to fast follow it to try and beat him. If someone does like a short hop or a full hop right in front of you as they're rising up, you can beat. This is normally how you beat them, is that you can do options immediately before they do their falling aerial. Like if he's right next to him, he can decide to short hop aerial before the falling aerial comes out. Light can do that. or you can decide up smash if it's high enough percents before the aerial comes out. That was what that's from like our last discussion. That's what Wes was doing to you whenever you were full hopping and things like that. Before he even let you do the neutral air coming back down, he was already prepping for up tilt or doing up airs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Up B out. Trying to actually, yep, good pressure, good pressure. Good. Oh, watch this. That right there, that's a tempo thing that we were talking about before. He does the back air, runs away immediately. Oh, that's a different time. So yeah, there's two instances right here where he found out, what is it? He found out Curler Bam Pam's tempo. He might have found it out earlier in the set. That's why he decided to go for this up smash here. So he back airs. Oh, well, he was coming back in to try and punish it. But you saw both those times he did one back air, Curler Bam Pam immediately did something. So now he's got this tempo that if he does one move on his shield, oh, that's stop. If he does one move on his shield,
So he threw out the one back air and then
he ran away. Because he wasn't sure when he was actually going to how many times he could actually do the back air on his shield, because he probably bet Pro Banham being an aggressive player and the fact that Lucina has that up B as well out of shield, that he was trying to play around the up B, so he decided to actually back air, run away, and see if he would use the up B. But he found out he was instead doing grabs and also tried to do a down tilt. The down tilt was to try and actually punish the last time he dashed away, I'm pretty sure too. But he wasn't able to get him, so he could actually be able to just stay. Honestly, maybe the next time that he actually does anything to Pearl Bam, he might spot dodge up smash, or he might actually just do back air into immediate up smash or up tilt, which haven't seen too much from him from the set so far. We take a little break. Surprise commercials weren't being played right now. Light was calling to see if the timer was going, or like if I'm pretty sure that's what he just did. He put a little T up to say like yo, can you stop stalling or something. Does those things about neutral about neutral and tempo, or is it helping you like kind of see like maybe try and get into the mindset of Light a bit more?
Yeah, definitely. Like just understanding, like getting an understanding of their speed and then understanding the spacing part. I think that those 4 steps really changed the way I'm thinking about the game right now. Because I've always wondered like how does he know how to keep the spacing, and like the spacing and the tempo is like they go hand in hand with each other, and it's actually kind of like a cool way of looking at the game. I didn't even like. I'm pretty sure I kind of understood it, but now from like a conscious standpoint, I'm definitely gonna apply it now with my game.
Cool. And I have some good videos that I learned this from. That what was that? It's interesting. I think he got hit by one hit of side B. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a video that I saw it from that helped me real lot. Well, I think that's what it was. It was both talking, like I said, with my friend Price, and then also like a video that I had saw about it. Some from the same guy I think I sent before for Zaffarino. Or
yeah,
not Zaffarino. So yeah, he did another one that was basically about like those concepts too. I think Ramses also did one for it. But I know we ran slightly a little bit more over time, but I didn't mind actually doing that for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, this
So,
was
let's see here. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just definitely the last like session. It helped me so much with the way I played the game. I got fifth at It wasn't the last try point. It was like 2 or 3 try points ago, and I ended up beating like 2 PR players. I made like a six set losing set run. I got sent to losers in round 2, and then I won like 6 straight sets, and I got fifth out of like 60 entrants in try point.
Oh,
I
there
ended
you
up
go.
with Raven King. Yeah.
I'll say the Foxguy stocks are moving up now, so that means it's going to be much easier for the PGR goal now too.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like I'm like right there. I just got to keep it consistent and kind of stay focused.
I think what we'll do real quick just to end off the session, just talk a little bit more about like your goal for what is it for obtaining PR or not for the PGR.
Okay.
Obtaining PGR. So, and I think honestly, it's a goal that, knowing you personally and like how much you actually do put into like tech work and everything, it can be a possibility for you. Like you said, you're putting in as much work as you can, like daily, to actually be able to both think about like the tech and also like mentally do things. So now we just need to actually see what are maybe some steps that you can actually go towards obtaining it. So my question for you is, have you thought about like what are the things that you're kind of needing to do to attain PGR?
I think like with these sessions, like it helps me like open up my mind, which is definitely the big thing. So like keeping an open mind, and then putting that into my practice with tech, and then applying it with my with tournaments. But I think the biggest thing is definitely like how to control like my like stress levels when I play. Because I feel like everything is like there, like all of the all of the data, all of like the information I've learned. I do feel like it's there, but I feel like there's like some, I gotta keep my stress levels down, which I'm trying to like meditate and go for walks and stuff. But I think that's like definitely the biggest thing, I think.
Do you ever find like an answer for like what it is that you feel makes you stressed like that? Because I think the last time you told me it was just nervousness about like facing top players.
Yeah, I thought that's what it was at first, but then I started fighting like a Tata, and then I started fighting Raven King and Dark Wizzy, and I fight these guys. I'm like I feel like Dark Wizzy was like the last time I played like pretty well, but like I went game 3 in every single set in pools, which shouldn't have happened. But like I haven't found an answer yet for like why I have this like anxiety or anything. I think really it's just like a focus thing, just like honing my mind on staying focused and disciplined, and just applying it. But it's like when I'm playing these top players now, like I'm not seeing it like I'm right there, It's like the trust and then the discipline and the focus.
Because there's not too much difference once you're at the top level. That's what people, I think, are probably confused about, is that they think once you're at the top level that like it takes all this tech skill and everything in order to actually beat someone, and when really everyone at the top level, if they find one mistake from someone, that it's normally like a 0 to death, or it's normally 0 to like, you know, maybe 100%. It's not just Kaguya that's doing it. It's literally any character in this game can do that because everyone can polish up their combo game. Anyone can work on it. It's always
Right.
just like the mental side of how you find those openings, basically.
Yeah, that's definitely the part I'm like finding out now.
Um, does your nerves, for your nerves, is it, I know like you say like maybe it's not like you not sure like exactly why, but like do you ever feel like you bring so it's like the goal of PGR, does that pop into your mind when you're playing like mid set?
Mm, not that specific goal. I think
Or like any like goals in mind, or like anything like besides like what's happening in the match?
it's more like an outside voice, you know, kind of um kind of like making up scenarios of uh like an outside voice saying like, oh, you can't beat this guy. He's better than you. You won't win this exchange. You won't. You know, if you dash in, this could happen and that could happen. It's kind of like stuff like that. You know, it's kind of just
Hmm.
like bringing out the outside voices instead of trying to stay focused.
So outside voice telling you the negatives of what can happen.
In that tournament where I got fifth, I remember I got sent down to losers, and I was fighting this Captain Falcon player. It was like round 2 or 3 of losers, and I was just down the first game, and I was like telling myself I was just like, this guy's not better than me, you know, like he's not better than me. I just gotta like focus, relax, and then just trust myself. And I think that was the big thing. It was like trusting like what you see, and then trusting like your practice, like your tech and your instincts, and I kind of like accepted that, and I applied it, and I ended up beating the guy. And the same thing happened again with the next 2 sets, but it was all game 3 sets, which is like if it's game 3, it's whatever. But it's like the discipline of staying focused and consistent is also what's kind of holding me back.
Discipline, being consistent. Okay. Let me write that down. So you said. Okay, we can go into that a little bit, but for like trying to fight those nerves, like the outside voice telling you the negatives of what could happen, um, something, and this might not work. Like, I won't say this will automatically cure it because, like, you know, with mentality, there's many different things that can or
Yeah.
can't like help it, but like something that maybe you want to consider is even though it's like the outside voice telling you the negative outcomes of what can happen. Um, something that I'd say is just like, so it's telling you the negative outcomes of what can happen. Um, so what? So basically, it tells you these negative outcomes can actually happen. And so mentally, when you hear like, you know, yourself like telling you that, since you can't find that reason why you keep telling yourself,
Uh-huh.
what can help is like saying, okay, so this negative option, like just accepting the fact that you know, something like that can happen. Because, but there's a second part to it. It's accepting the fact that negative can happen, but instead of not dealing with it, trying to find a way to not rationalize, but like you basically find a way to understand and solve it. So like, say for example, like what's a bad situation that comes into mind?
Mm, I would say losing in a tournament very early when I know I've kind of done better. Like I go like 1-2 or 2-2 in bracket when I've been working like really hard for it, you know. So I think it's like that fear that um like I worked really hard, but you know I go like 2-2 and get like not so I didn't do as well as I know that I could.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So before a
but
so like before a match, or like midway through a match, like after like you lose a stock, in your mind like it'll say like, oh man, I don't want to go like I'm in losers. I don't want to go like 1-2 or 2-2 after all the work that I put in. Is that kind of like something that you
yeah,
say will pop up in mind?
yeah, kind of. It's also like I know like the nervousness is there, so like if I go 2-2 or 3-2, I'm like, why? I'm like, why am I letting this like control my gameplay? You know, like why am I letting the nerves control my gameplay? And then um, like it spirals out, and I kind of just like tunnel vision when I play when that happens. I just kind of just like throw stuff out and just do the same thing over and over again, and then I end up getting like pretty upset. It's like, oh, that's not me that's playing. It's you know, just like the anxiety kind of.
Right. So yeah. So for example, like that, um, what I think is happening for you is like the bad like, I don't want to go 2-2. I don't want to go 2-2. I need to do something. Is what's probably going through your mind. So like that's when like your autopilot is like it's searching. Your system once trying to find a solution. It's trying to think, okay, I need something. I need something. It's like, okay, maybe dash attack seems good right here, or maybe oh he's at high percent. Maybe I should like try and hard read a roll in up smash, and then you get
Yeah,
punished for it. So instead of like not trying to talk, instead of like just letting the system one just go out of control like that because like you're panicking. But I think it's like probably the good part is you can still acknowledge I don't want to go 2-2, but the difference in like the in like your what you say afterwards instead of like I want to go 2-2 again is like you'll say I want to go 2-2. What do I need to be focusing on right now to not have that happen? Because ultimately just thinking about not wanting to go 2-2 is, like you said, isn't going to help you. So the only thing you can do is just trust in doing what you need to do in the moment in order to actually become in order to make sure it doesn't happen. So if you're just like just came back from the Halo platform, like after losing stock, maybe just sit there for a moment. Maybe the thought of like I don't want to go 2-2 pops into your mind. So instead of just letting it just like go into the void and just like not say anything about it, just say I don't want to go 2-2. Okay, so let's focus back in. What killed? Like say, just start thinking mentally like, what are some things that can get you back into the game? Like look at the percents, just see like what's. Just think of a small little game plan for how to get yourself back into the game. Like whether it's oh, I need to, it's high percent for them. I need to, instead of like randomly doing up smash, I need to try and confirm into an up smash. So just calmly get back off the platform, just try and put them in the corner, and then maybe find a way to force them to let go of shield so you can get weak hit in their up smash. And then once that happens, momentum starts pulling in your mind. It's like, okay, yes, I did it. I can keep going.
yeah. Okay, I can try that.
Yeah, because like, and
Yeah.
see, we never tried to push you away from that thought of like going 2-2. We just changed how you thought about it.
It isn't the
Mhm.
instrument that's being played that
Okay.
makes the difference, but the man who plays it.
And then what has helped you outside voices, what help was that you trusted in your practice. And yeah, so that's another part of it is that you got rid of. It's good because you got rid of that thought of going 2-2. Out, like, completely out of your system. And so, like, the only thing that was just there was just what you practice and, like, and what you're thinking about then. And then discipline with being consistent, because that's something else you said, like, for your goal, like, when helping with that. You feel like you're not, with how much you practice each day, you feel like you're still not being consistent with things, or is it just...
I feel like I'm not like at the level that I should be. And like if I lose to somebody that, like, when I go to a tournament, like, I always think like I'm gonna win first place, and then if I get, like, when I got fifth, I was like, okay, like I played well. What do we need to work on? But like when I go to a tournament and I get like 13th, 17th, and I lose to somebody that, like, I know I could have figured out, but like the nervous was there, that's when like the inconsistency comes in, you know? Like, it's like an inconsistency because of like the nerves, not because of like lack of practice or lack of preparation, you know?
So, okay, so maybe... So maybe instead of it being like a separate thing, it's because of, like we're saying, the nerves. Thrown off the nerve. So maybe that's just your thing right now, is like mentally trying to get into that mindset of like a step process of, once you're down, acknowledging what's happening. Like, okay, so I'm down the stock. I don't want to go 2-2. What do I need to do to actually get out of this situation? And so, like, just going mentally checking those check boxes and seeing what you need to do. And then, like I said, another thing that helps is, like, along with getting that confirmed, maybe just doing something that will actually psych you back up. Because, you know, the typical thing Light does is that, like, when he's feeling stressed or something like that, he'll roll his sleeves up.
Right.
Because he's doing something that he can control, that he can turn on. Because like rolling up your sleeves doesn't actually make you a better player. For Light, it does. Like, but there's no scientifically proven way that just rolling up your sleeves, well, maybe in a rare case of like maybe mashing, but there's no like proven fact that like just by rolling up your sleeves you get better results like that in that way. But because it's something that helps him calm himself down, and it's something that's controllable, it allows him to be able to, you know, focus himself back in. It's a ritual that he kind of does for himself. Just like when people say like they don't feel too well, like before tournaments, a ritual they like to do is they'll play some friendlies to get themselves in a better mind state. Because maybe they don't do too well in the friendlies, but the fact that they're at least playing friendlies, it's something that they were able to control and do, at least mentally put them in a better mind state. Because then they're actually focusing on, oh, okay, I'm not doing so hot right here, but I know, like, you know, once the tournament comes up, because I'm already getting these nerves out of the way, I'll be able to focus more on these if they're actual issues for today, and I'll keep an eye out for them. Versus just going into the match without playing the friendlies like they normally do. Those things can come out, but they're just thinking negatively that like, oh man, I didn't actually get my warm-ups in, I'm actually just going to go straight 0-2 because of this, and things like that.
Okay, that makes sense. They might try something like that.
So yeah, I always thought you had like a thing for that. What happened to going to the bathroom, wash your hands?
That doesn't work anymore for me.
Did the Chicago TOs get wise up and say he's wasting too much time?
I actually still I do that. I think before every set I still do it, but it doesn't work anymore. Not as much, but it definitely helped a lot for some reason when I was at Ball State.
Yeah, so maybe it's time to find a new thing if that's not working for you now anymore. But yeah, something controllable like that, partnered with, you know, just thinking about what you need to just do next to actually be able to get yourself back into the game. So that might be your next your next like actual goal towards like being a PTR player is just helping your mentality, using these things to help your mentality towards becoming a strong PTR player. Because I'm sure they have their rituals and things like that to keep, are those mental checks, those mental moments that they can check for that. Like, you know, on the Halo platform, maybe they run to the other side of the stage, even though it gives up stage control, they just do it just to give themselves maybe 2 seconds to just like cool off and think about what's happening if the other person is even going to approach them.
Okay.
So that might be your big focus right now for the PTR thing. And then the next thing that you'll have in mind, that like that, like you said, like keeping an open mind, like with discussions like these. Something I might add on to that, because it's just basically you gathering like more knowledge about the game, is don't, and I know as an actual, for someone who actually wants to make money off of coaching, they probably would not actually want to say this, but for someone who actually cares about coaching, I think they would say, don't just rely on
So just rely on.
or rely on my coaching as your end all be all.
Yeah.
Because there's other
I-
great coaches out there that I have no issue if you go towards them too. Because like I'm happy just to be able to be a part of the process to help you become a better player. It doesn't mean I have to be the only person to do that, because there's things that I'm stubborn about in this game that people can probably see just like from the way that I talk. Like many people see that I don't focus too much on combos and things like that. I focus more on just nuances about thinking, and also like neutral, when some people can maybe need more, help with combos and stuff. Because I think that you
Right.
can just easily learn, you can easily kind of just learn that from like your character discords, or learn it from a specialist, compared to like just learning combos from it.
Yeah, that one I've been aware of, at least especially when I was like playing sports, with like the different coaches. But I know like the best thing to like improve is to find a good coach and first like identify your problems, then find somebody that can help improve. So I'm very glad I got you as a coach, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Again, I do appreciate you thinking of me as like a primary one. Would love to actually say I could just stay as your primary one, but like I said, if you ever have like something like maybe there's something I don't know too well, something I could possibly do is, if I know someone who might know more information about it, I might try to reference them over to you. Or maybe if I actually don't know anyone, we both like start looking and maybe find someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably just the big thing is just trying to fight those nerves for right now, and then just continually keeping an open mind. So moving this as like your second thing, as
Okay.
towards becoming a PTR player, is just constantly keeping an open mind to talk with others, like these sessions. And the other thing is just just thinking what it is missing from your play that PTR players have. Because if you just constantly, once you go through, actually, this could be like maybe the second or third thing, but if you're constantly thinking about what's missing from your play as a PTR player, that'll just be the next thing that you have to work on towards becoming a PTR player.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's about it for like the session there. Kind of a little long-winded one, but I definitely enjoyed what we kind of talked about here.
I appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, that is not a problem. Hopefully, I'll be able to meet up with you in a future tournament like that monthly that we're going to be having in July here.
You said that was July 30th, right?
Yep.
In South Bend?
Mhm.
See, I'm going to try to make it there. I honestly don't see a reason why I wouldn't.
Okay.
That'd be
It's
cool,
no
though.
problem. It's no problem if you won't be able to make it to that one, because we'll try and make these since we're trying to make them monthly, we should be having another one in August, probably like the 3rd or 4th week, or if not, because I think there's going to be a conflict in August, but we'll see If not, then it'll probably be like the first week of September will be the next one after.
Is that gonna be like a Rivals monthly, or is it completely separate?
Oh, it'll be at Rival, so the same venue.
Okay, decent.
Okay. You got
Sounds
any
good.
last questions before we head out, or?
I think that's all. How do I pay you? Is it through PayPal?
Yep. I'll go ahead and just send that to you through the, what is it? Send out the request for you. I had forgot to send that before we had started the session, but I trust you, so I don't mind waiting after the session for that.
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Is it 20? Is that right?
Yep. And I'll send you the email for it. Let's see here.
Let me do it right now, just in case, because it might be a little spotty. I doubt it, but you never know. Do I just go to PayPal and then just put your email in? Is that how it is? Okay. Still gotta log in. I gotta do my login real quick.
Okay, not a problem.
You guys are having Rivals this week too, right?
Yep, we are. Let's see. This one will be singles, and what's the side bet this time? I think we have it as, I think this one is doubles, but I'll double check. But yeah, we've also changed our prices a slight bit, because now it's still not going to cost no more than it did before, like before you started coming, but the venue fee structure has changed now, so you only have to pay $2 for it, and that just goes to the community, and then the other like $3 from that went towards the singles, like $8 for singles. So that way it gives more back for both people who place high enough, and it allowed us to actually pay out to more people. So I think
Well,
now, for example,
it's pretty nice.
so I think now 30 people or something like that. I think it's 30 to 49. I can just check it real quick. Scroll up and find that. Rivals. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, 20 through 39 people. So now what we've done is that now that we've increased the pot to it, we normally only was able to pay out to top 4 because of that, but now we give refunds back to 5th place. And then when it gets to 40 to 50 people, which is 50 is our max normally, when we get to that high, we now pay out the top 8. Top 8, they make $2 extra from $2 extra basically from the singles pot. So basically they get their whole entire, if they only paid for singles, they get their singles money and they get the community fee money technically back. And then for people who don't enter doubles, if they place 5th, they got a $5 profit. And then everything else is like because it's $8, they would still get like a pretty nice amount from like compared to before.
Oh, I actually like that. That's pretty decent. How many people have you guys been getting so far at Rivals, like past couple months?
Sadly, we haven't been getting we've only been getting like, I'd say like 20-ish, like on average. I'd say like that's probably the average of it. We're trying to work around it. I think the biggest things is just that both spreading the word about like the events, and also I think just being more active with stuff. So what I'm planning to do is something I already do. So if you're interested in it, is that every Sunday in the Discord, we do like a little like discussion like over topics and things like that. This one will actually be perfect, because the next topic that we usually do it for like a full month. Our next topic is actually going to be over tournament nerves.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So we do them it's from I roughly say like 7 to 9 is like the time that I just give for like people to just like kind of chat in the Discord about it, like in one of the channels. I'll usually just like tune in, give my own feedback for things, and we just kind of learn from one another based on the topic. And then I just work on like my scheduling and stuff for like through the week for like my personal stuff as we just talk.
Is it like a just like a chat talk kind of thing? Like you just talk about the topic and then everyone kind of just like puts in their feedback and their
Mhm.
experiences. Okay.
Yep. So like maybe it might draw some things from it because like what I'll do is this first one, what I'm basically going to do, preview for anyone who's actually watching right now is, um, I'll just kind of put up some general things about it just from like my perspective, like both coaching and also seeing other people. So kind of like what I told you today about having a controllable thing that will help your nerves, and also you know, understanding what is it that causes your nerves in the first place and just get rid of it while you're actually playing in the match, or try and give like a reason to why it is that you would be nervous. Because like you were saying before, that like you don't want to go what is it, like before when you're saying like I'm scared to play this top player and everything like that, a reasoning that could actually help you with that, if that was still an issue, was okay, well, that top player is just as afraid to play against you because you're unknown to them. They don't know how long,
Right.
because they don't know how long you've been practicing. Like you told me, you practice 3 to 4 hours, like in training mode, like in like the training mode mod pack. If I knew that's what you're actually doing, and even if I was like a top player, I'd still be scared because I'm thinking maybe I have top player privilege, but like if they might know some weird combo that like I'm not prepared for, so I don't want anything to do with them. So maybe I'm just going to stay away from them in neutral, or I'm just not even going to give them a chance. I'm just going to play overly aggressive and be nervous because of it.
Right.
So yeah, so we'll just do discussions like that the first week, and then as like the more weeks go through for the month, like we'll still talk on that topic so other people can chime in if they haven't from like last week's. And then what I'm trying to do is like at the end of each session, I didn't do it for this last one, but I might go run back through and do it, is I'll make a kind of like community doc. So that way it feels like everyone was a part of making a doc for like details on how to deal with tournament nerves, or even quotes from them, like from the discussion.
Okay. That's pretty decent. You said that starts at 7:30?
We go from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So
Okay.
6 to 8 for you. I was about to say, if I'm not doing too much, I may still just like sit in there for a little bit longer. But after all, it's a discussion for everyone, so it doesn't just have to be in there for just that time. If more people want to talk about it like throughout the time, or just chime in and just take a look at things, they obviously can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to pop in.
Cool.
That sounds like a good conversation for me to learn from.
Awesome, glad to hear that. And then yeah, just kind of things like that, more community driven things, trying to actually clean up the Discord too, because right now it does not look too appealing for people. I know that's not the reason that people would stop chatting in there, because they have their own small Discords, but just giving like reasons for them to actually like interact in the Discord, like maybe doing community events that give them some prizes or things like that for like interacting.
Right. Yeah, I think I do like the way you guys run the Discord, especially with all the tournaments. So you guys always, like, if I ever want to like go to a tournament in Indiana, you guys always post it there, and honestly, I think it's a little bit more sophisticated than the Chicago Smash Discord.
I didn't even know they had one. I just know about Rickles Discord, for when it used to be for the Back Row Thursdays.
Yeah, I think they got rid of that tournament, but
Yeah.
who are the mods for this Chicago tournament? Oh, it's the people who run the PR, or the PR people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think I know a few of them. So I'm familiar with them.
I did send you the payment.
Oh, cool.
Make sure
Let
make
me.
sure you get it.
Well, see, it'll probably just pop up on my phone. So let me take a look here. Of course, my phone, I need to update it because it's not doing too well. I know. Strange, I actually didn't decide to actually update it at the same time I got a new laptop. Services for PayPal. I think that's what it is right here. Yeah, my phone's being slow, but it's all good. I think I saw an email notification about PayPal, so it's probably there.
Okay. Yeah, if
Cool.
not, just let me know. I can resend it.
Cool. Oh, yep, there it is. The notification's up there now. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully you didn't mind this old man just talking to you for like a good almost 2.5 hours now.
Oh no, I'm more than happy to do this again. I think I'm going to try playing on Friday. See if I can get on stream there. But yeah, I'm definitely going to apply all this stuff right now. I'm about to get to practicing.
Okay. Well, since this was a Discord session, I'm going to go ahead and try and the YouTube video will definitely be up before I have the doc finish. So
Okay.
I'll go ahead and just try uploading that right now. Like either throughout the night or like beginning of the morning before I go into work. And that should definitely be finished probably like Thursday afternoon. I'll probably just give you the link when it's at the very least when it gets the SD version done.
Okay. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I do wish you luck with TriPoint this Friday, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you, you too. I'll see you later, Jeff.
All right, later.